The Met Gala has gone from an annual fundraiser with the fashion industry and the New York community to a cultural phenomenon that attracts worldwide attention. This exclusive celebration, tickets to which cost as much as a new car, gives designers the opportunity to showcase their most impressive work on their famous muses, all for a good cause. The Anna Wintour Costume Institute, which houses the world's largest collection of clothing, is the only department of the Metropolitan Museum of Art that must fund its activities. So as its exhibitions become increasingly elaborate, it is only natural that its beneficiaries, adorned with equally spectacular decor, follow suit. In anticipation of this year's historic event, whose theme is Karl Lagerfeld, the beauty line, let's examine the evolution of the Metropolitan Museum of Art's Gala over its more than 80-year history, from guest list to decor. The Party of the Year began as an annual fundraiser for the Costume Institute and didn't even take place in the Metropolitan Museum. The first event was organized by fashion publicist and CFDA founder Eleanor Lambert in 1948, 2 years after the Costume Institute became part of the Met. The December midnight suppers were held at venues such as the Waldorf, Astoria, Central Park, and Rainbow Room until 1971. Here, the former director of the Metropolitan Museum of Art, Thomas Hoving, dines with his wife and another guest in Central Park. The event became more elaborate during the 1970s with the arrival of Diana Vreeland, who acted as special consultant to the Costume Institute in 1973, and socialite Pat Buckley, wife of conservative author William F. Buckley, both pictured here, who became chairwoman in 1978. Vreeland joined the event committee after leaving her post at Vogue in 1971. To help convince the Met to bring her on, a group of friends, rumored to include Jacqueline Kennedy Onassis and Babe Paley, raised enough money to fund her salary for the first 2 years. Instead of it being a typical society event, Vreeland turned it into a one-of-a-kind party. Guests went down an elevator and were welcomed into an opium den-like atmosphere, with faceless mannequins with pantyhose pulled over their heads, and atmospheric music. While the theme is now critical to every aspect of the night, from decor to fashion, the Met Gala actually didn't have themes until Vreeland, pictured center, took over and linked the gala to an exhibit. Her first exhibition was The World of Balenciaga in 1973, and she worked with the Met until her death in 1989, helping produce 14 standout shows. These included Romantic and Glamorous Hollywood Design, 1974, and Vanity Fair, 1977. The exhibitions brought the Costume Institute back to life, bringing in donations and record crowds. Under Vreeland's tenure, the Met Gala began to embrace popular culture and celebrities when it came to the guest list. Andy Warhol, pictured here, Diana Ross, and Cher made appearances alongside society figures and politicians such as Jacqueline Kennedy Onassis and Henry Kissinger. Vreeland, who was known for her extravagant spending at Vogue, pulled out all the stops. She would even have appropriately themed perfume pumped into the galleries. Guests would enter through the Great Hall, then proceed to the exhibition downstairs. After dinner in the Dorothy Draper-designed restaurant, the guests would head to the Temple of Denda for dancing. Dessert tickets, which cost $100, allowed students and others to join the party. The Met Gala continued as a blockbuster event after Vreeland's death in 1989. The 90s brought exhibitions on Gianni Versace, Christian Dior, and Vreeland herself. The 1996 gala was attended by Princess Diana, who wore a head-turning Dior slip dress designed by John Galliano. In 1999, Anna Wintour took over as chairperson, after hosting in 1996 and 1997, and brought the power and resources of Vogue to the gala. The event moved from December to April in 2001, following the cancellation of a Chanel exhibition in December 2000. The show was replaced with Jacqueline Kennedy, The White House Years, an exhibit curated by Vogue's Hamish Bowles, pictured here with First Lady Laura Bush. Andrew Bolton joined the Costume Institute from the Victoria and Albert Museum in 2002, and along with Harold Coder, who retired in 2016, the department elevated the level of the exhibitions with elaborate displays and fascinating collaborations with other areas of the museum. While the curatorial team picks the theme of each exhibition, Bolton has said that Wintour is consulted and signs off. He recently told French Vogue that Anna works out what sponsors would be appropriate for the exhibition. Sometimes I have an idea, and it's less of a big idea or popular idea, which is not terribly appealing to sponsors. Bolton's 2015 exhibition, China, Through the Looking Glass, drew 815,992 visitors, making it the fifth most popular show in the museum's history. Seen here is the dining room for the 2015 Met Gala. The decor of the Met Gala has continued to become more and more elaborate, often attempting to top itself from the year previous. The Great Hall, Grand Staircase, and Charles Engelhard Court, where the dinner is held, give the event designer an opportunity to express the year's theme on a large scale. For 2006's Anglomania, David Mon carpeted Charles Engelhard Court in grass and created an English garden complete with apple tree hedges. There were also 35,000 daffodils and 12,000 hyacinths. Raoul Avila led the design of the Met's ball in 2007, when he installed an 18-foot-tall birdcage with live peacocks in the Great Hall. For the China, Through the Looking Glass ball, he created a ginger jar decorated with 250,000 roses. The table settings have also become more whimsical under Wintour's reign as chair. Everything, from the chairs to the plates, reflects the theme. Prints inspired by Paul Poiret took center stage in 2007. For 2012's Schiaparelli and Prada, Impossible Conversations, bright red glasses adorned the tables, and banquettes were upholstered in Schiaparelli's signature shocking pink. While red carpet pictures are spread far and wide, the party itself remains more of a mystery. In 2015, the Met Ball instituted a social media ban, although selfies have been known to slip out every year. While guests are forbidden from using social media, Vogue is not. In 2016, the magazine debuted an Instagram portrait studio as part of the design of the event where celeb guests can pose. The Fate has made its way onto the big screen several times over the years. In 2016, a documentary on the event, The First Monday in May, opened the Tribeca Film Festival, and in 2018 the Met Gala was recreated for the heist comedy Ocean's 8, starring Sandra Bullock, Cate Blanchett, Anne Hathaway, Rihanna, and Sarah Paulson. Over the years, the Met Gala red carpet has become an event to rival the Oscars. Guests aren't just making an entrance, they're putting on a show. In 2019, Lady Gaga had 4 costume changes as her Brandon Maxwell ensemble transformed from a cape dress to a voluminous gown to a hot pink column and finally to crystal-studded undergarments. That same year, Billy Porter, who wore a sparkling, winged cat suit, was carried in on a litter by 6 shirtless men in gold pants. The gala's red carpet moments often outlast the evening, becoming memes that live on long after the exhibition has closed. One such meme-able moment was Jason Derulo's tumble down the stairs in 2018. The gala has had co-chairs and honorary chairs since 1973, when Phyllis Ellsworth Dillon, wife of diplomat C. Douglas Dillon, served as co-chair. The gala has had co-chairs and honorary chairs since 1973, when Phyllis Ellsworth Dillon, wife of diplomat C. Douglas Dillon, served as co-chair. Early co-chairs included socialites such as Pat Buckley, Jacqueline Kennedy Onassis, Jane Engelhard. Then, in the 90s, Wintour brought celebrities, fashion designers, and executives into the mix. These days, the Met Gala is still one of the biggest events in the fashion world, known in popular culture as the biggest night of fashion. But has fashion itself remained in the event? That seems to have changed, too.